Forever. Dog.
Just when you thought it was safe. This week on the podcast, R.L. Stine's Goosebumps, Deep Trouble.
Hi, welcome to Teen Creeps, the podcast that discusses YA pulp fiction. I'm one of your hosts, Lindsay Kaitai.
I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly Nugent. And today we are joined by a very special guest. You may know him from his stand-up special on Netflix. You may know him as a writer for Big Mouth. We have writer, comedian, Max Silvestri is here.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on your show to talk about YA pulp fiction.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Nothing gets more YA pulp fiction than Goosebumps Deep Trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the Goosebumps series is many young people's entree into,
It was mine.
Pulpier and darker themes.
Yeah. It's a stepping stone to Stephen King.
I was
in many ways,
very scared of Goosebumps when I was first starting to read them. Like, I enjoyed them very much. In fact, I had Goosebumps sheets as a child.
Wow.
And a matching Goosebumps lunchbox that I brought to school one day, and then everyone made fun of me, so then I didn't bring it.
God, I had
anymore.
outfits and objects like that I would get during the summer, like maybe a mid-August Macy's run, and be like, oh man, this
is going to kill.
Jurassic Park 2 shirt that has like actual claw marks built into the fabric, such it looks like I spent my summer being attacked by a raptor. This is going to rip it up day one of school. And then like one kid would be like, look at your claw shirt, you piece of shit. And then be like, Mom, you idiot, I don't want this.
I took I assumed the outcome. And so I never purchased anything that would in any way suggest having taste in any way. And I would just wait and find out what other kids were into.
Oh,
Chase
see,
it. Don't be the leader.
I had very Arrested Development, and I thought it was really cool one time to get hiking boots with Esmeralda on them. And
They
Was that
made
a custom
those?
job?
I had to get them from my guy.
Aftermarket. Yeah. I bought
My-
the boots from the dealer, but then I had to take it to my guy.
Yeah.
My boot guy.
Yeah, tint the laces.
My childhood boot guy.
Yeah, and I was really proud of them. And then I was sitting at those 4-person desks. You're all facing each other.
Oh, yeah.
And someone was like, Kelly has Esmeralda on her boots. Isn't that so babyish? And then I tried to walk around duck-footed all day so that no one would see the outside side of my boot.
Screwing your ankles up permanently.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
and I suffer to
tragic.
this day. So, okay, we're talking about Goosebumps Deep Trouble. We haven't done a Goosebumps book in a while.
How many Goosebumps would you say you've reread for this podcast?
We did Calling All
Maybe
Creeps with Stephen Ray
4 or
Morris.
5
Okay,
at
so a
most.
small amount.
Small, yeah.
Well, we were trying something for a while where we were going to do a Goosebumps book a month.
Sure.
And then it was too much.
I mean, this series was huge for me when I was young, but I have not revisited it since, if you can believe it. I graduated past
That's
this type
weird.
of, I know it's crazy.
That's weird.
You don't still read them every night?
I'm just
it's
someone that looks
like you
forward,
said.
not backwards. I kind of find nostalgia gross.
Okay, wow. I mean, whatever. I
as do we all.
mean, maybe I'm just trying to live in a better world.
No,
than
it's
me.
fine.
Now
I'm just,
like,
excited about
what?
tomorrow, not yesterday.
I'm just, what? I'm glad that you came into my space, into my home stomping grounds, and attacked me here. That's thumbs up.
No, of course, yeah, totally.
And
I mean,
I
it's
don't want to step on what you're doing, but
this
really,
is fun for me because I don't hang out with a lot of people anymore. They're remember when? That's not
so,
normally ways around myself. So this is novel and interesting.
And honestly, I like to just every once in a while pepper in really negative, just bad energy. And so I'm so glad that you're here.
Cool.
Great.
Well, I'm focused on climate change. So yeah, let's talk about Goosebumps.
So
No, I was a wild collector of this series.
Yeah.
I think this is the first thing I got into that I was gotta catch them all. In a real put energy for. I think it was 5th grade, maybe 5th and 6th grade.
Yeah,
that
it's
I
very
That was
age
about me too.
appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the look of them. I liked the whole vibe, and I just was I want them all.
yeah, I remember
Did you in fact get them all?
Up to a point, he
So you didn't want it bad enough.
I didn't want. You know what?
you know what, or maybe you did and you failed.
You know what? It's just I changed, but
Yeah,
then
great.
RL didn't.
Oh,
he did
very
not.
true.
There was a point in
and
time.
does not.
Still has
yeah,
not.
not at all.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where I had I think maybe the first 40, which is a lot. That's
That
a
is
lot.
That's
of
a
books.
lot of books.
And I was very proud of that. Maybe it was less, maybe it was 30, but I was proud of that run on my shelf of I found them all.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I bought a new one and read. I was I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like I moved on to sort of, I was in a more fantasy space.
Yeah.
So what came after Goosebumps for you?
See, I stepped away from horror a bit, and I got like, I never was even wildly, I got really into the Star Wars extended universe. Those like 500-page novels that were like
I dated a
out
guy
constantly.
in college that was into them when he was in college.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah, there's quite a bit of canon
There's a
to
lot.
explore.
a lot.
I think I have negative feelings with it because he sucked a lot. So I think that was it.
I was in like 7th through 9th grade,
Yeah.
so I was like
They were tight.
Yeah, I mean, they were amazing. I mean, there was just like Luke's got like a wife and twins, and like you know, Chewie's married. Like it was just there was all new
So much
adventures.
marriage.
Well, I mean, you know, you get older, and this is
That's
what
where
you
it
do.
goes.
you
Yeah.
can't save the universe every day. You know, it's like, what's my legacy? My children. So yeah, I kind of got into collecting like Star Wars novels after that. And then also went through, well, we don't have to get into it.
So you're a completist.
I went through a real like collector OCD, you know, like would tape every episode of like The Simpsons on repeats and like label the tapes in my closet. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
For us.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
yeah.
That's cool in the way that we are also cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But like also maybe it's cool that we don't have to do that all the time with everything. And that we can have a relaxed attitude with like, if I just have 4 out of 7 in the series, I don't have to read the first to read the fourth.
I don't know what that feels like.
I know. I tried. I tried it with the Bosch series of books recently. Where I'm like, there's 23 of these things. I like the show. I'll just pop in, read the newest one.
23?
If not more, I think. Yeah.
There's a lot. Ryan, friend of the show, Ryan Mogi, emailed her dad about the Bosch series because she started watching it, and she was like, I just started watching it, and I remembered that you had some of the Bosch books. And he's like, let me tell you about Bosch, and like went through the entire like backstory. And he's like, actually, like he seems to struggle with this more in the show, but like in the books, it's more of a focus on this. And it was this like long, like multi-paragraph. And then he's like, I gotta go. I'm starting to get tired. And then like signed off.
What are you doing in there? I'm writing an email about Bosch from memory.
Seriously, from memory.
But yeah, I tried to do just like a recent one that truly required. They are pretty plug and play. If you've seen the show, he's craggy. He's like, I do things my way. But I was like, I better go back to the beginning. I need to find every bit of origin story.
Exactly. How did he become that way?
Yeah, I know the Bosch now, but like clearly there's there's
Baby
a runway
Bosch.
to that. Baby Bosch, exactly. And he was already craggy 40-something-year-old Bosch in the first one. He's now like truly an old man that like talks about death. It's one of those things, one of those series, unlike Goosebumps, that heavily mirrors the author's own journey and projection of himself. Like Bosch was kind of his age and his vibe when they started, and now he like
more
writes
of a
lot
Harry
about,
Potter
like,
thing.
Can only have one glass of wine before he falls asleep. Exactly, like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
There's a whole generation of dads who were the same age as the Bosch character as he came out. So he's like, I retired at the same time as Bosch. My pension kicked in at the same time as Bosch. I grew up with him.
I think so. What's Bosch on?
Amazon.
Yeah, so the Amazon theme parks are adding a Bosch land.
Oh,
I had to get help to make that joke because I didn't.
No, but it's
know.
okay because
Thank
it was
you.
like we all made it together,
Cool.
which I enjoy.
An alley-oop, if you will.
Yes.
Because I talk about how much I love Bosch so much, I now, through 3 different sets of people involved with Bosch, the TV show or the book, have like sent me things to my house.
Oh.
So as of last
Good
week, I
place
now
to be.
have 2 Bosch season 5 wrap backpacks and 2 Bosch season 5 wrap windbreakers.
Oh,
So
the
like,
windbreaker.
most of my clothes are Bosch related now.
That's wonderful.
Why? Both from season 5.
I think maybe actually season 4. I'm going to correct
Okay,
that. Both are
okay.
season 4.
Well, if you want to talk to our friend Ryan's dad,
I would love to.
he has a
get
seemingly
hooked up.
unending fountain of knowledge about Bosch.
I feel like so few people my age are willing to commit that much energy to an email, and it sounds like this guy has.
He will sit down.
Yeah,
treat it
kindred
like a
spirit.
letter.
Email.
you know?
Exactly.
Punctuation.
I hope all is well with you.
Yeah. Well, and then to tell you why he's stopping writing.
Yeah.
Well, I have to go now. No one asks why you have to go at the end
The
of an
sun
email.
is setting and I don't have light to write with.
What's my excuse for not writing more? You can just be
You
done.
don't need one.
You can just be like, you know what? I better just stop writing.
Look, I know we've talked about Bosch a lot, but I have a burning question still. You said there are 23 of these.
Of the Bosch books.
Yes.
Sure.
It's a 2-part question. One, are they long? And 2, are some of them written by ghostwriters?
No, Michael Connolly, who was a journalist, an award-winning crime
Michael
journalist
Connolly.
in LA, he switched to writing these novels, was moonlighting and writing them. Yeah, they're long, and he writes like one every 10 months or so.
Wow.
But literally, they've been going around one a year since like maybe 89 or 90. He just like, now there's a bit of a connected universe. The Lincoln Lawyer is Bosch's half-brother.
What?
Yeah. Something that like...
I would react to this more, but in the spirit of full disclosure, I did listen to Lost Culturistas.
Where I talk about that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So Kelly can react.
Here's the
this
thing.
is my problem.
Don't consume media.
You have been on the podcast circuit, and I have seen it.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize.
I don't think I talked about the jacket on the
I just
backpack.
wanted to say, no, you did not. And I was very excited
Breaking
to
news,
learn about
we're
that.
bringing it here.
I just
Max
wanted to
has
explain why
a jacket and a backpack.
Kelly was reacting, and I was sitting here just listening.
Here's what I would do.
I appreciate that.
I would fake it. I'd be like,
I-
oh my God.
I think maybe I should.
Yeah.
Like, you should have screamed about it a lot. Like, too much.
No, but finish the Lincoln Lawyer thing because it's fascinating.
I feel like you guys, I'm not here to tell you how to obviously run your podcast, but I feel like you should act as if there are no other podcasts. You know, like
Totally.
Yeah.
Why bother?
Yeah.
Like, why care about it?
send people on the
'Cause
scent of
here's
some
the
other
thing,
podcast.
Otherwise,
Here's
we're
the
going to have
thing,
to have a
too.
whole Forever Dog universe.
Don't even mention the network.
No. Don't mention the network. Don't mention the network. Just do what
Too
you're
much.
going to do.
Pretend the plugs are bits. Just be
Good.
like, I'm kidding. There's no show called Grim Sillies. That's just a funny thing we do.
Hilarious. Okay, wait. So, do we have to finish the Bosch thing? What happens with Bosch? So, Bosch is with Lincoln Lawyers' half brother.
His half brother, but there's a weird folding logic now in the books where like Bosch in the books and the TV show has a nice house because he sold the rights to a case he'd done before the books came out that they made based on him.
Okay.
So even before the Amazon show, in the books,
So
he
there's
had,
a
like,
Bosch show
in the universe that was for like a season or two. His half brother's with the Lincoln Lawyer in a recent book. His brother answers the phone. He's calling his brother, and his brother's like, all right. And in the novel, it says, ever since the movie based on his story starring Matthew McConaughey had come out called The Lincoln Lawyer, his brother had started doing a Matthew McConaughey impression. So like,
So many layers.
the movie exists in the
God.
Bosch universe, but it is a nonfiction movie rather than a fictional movie. It's just a lot to handle.
Like,
yeah.
it's like a black hole. It's like it's like in so many layers of impossibility.
Yeah, if you look too close at it, it sucks all light and energy into it.
Wow.
We all one
But
day will die.
there's not an Amazon Bosch. There's just the original Bosch TV show.
What
Yes,
network
correct.
did it
That is
go
so
on
fascinating.
in the
Oh,
show, in the
that's
books?
a good. Well, I have to read the
Netflix.
19. I still haven't. I mean, the show, it was in the 80s, so it was like
Okay, so it was
maybe-
on network.
Exactly, it was broadcast. That's a lot
Okay.
of money. It's why he's a house.
Oh, yeah, I was
up in
gonna say,
Winter
he's
Houston.
getting
That's why.
really good residuals from
I
that.
was driving up. I had to go like over. I never have to go like Laurel Canyon. I'm never like. never
Oh,
having
wait,
to go
the Bosch house, right?
Yeah, and I was like
Okay.
recognizing street names from the book. How humiliating is that? I'm like,
no,
Woodrow Wilson Drive. Yeah, if you take that towards Mulholland, you're going to hit Bosch's house.
Our friend's dad came out
Gotta
and
meet this
visited
guy.
her, and like they were driving and they were he's like, oh, the Bosch house is near, and she's like, do you want to see it? And he's like, no, I don't want to like be one of those people, like I don't want to like
I respect it too much.
yeah, but he's like, I know where it is, and so
I don't want to be one of those fans. Yeah.
I have
so he
plenty
thought
of
it was
screen caps from Google Earth Street View or whatever. Yeah.
but he has a like geographical knowledge
Wow.
of like where it is.
And doesn't live in LA, so that's like
No,
a pretty
he lives on the
impressive-
East Coast.
Oh, wow.
In my mind now, every Bosch fan is like this. It's just
Yeah. Oh, the Bosch house is
inevitable.
near.
I left an angry comment on a Facebook.
Oh, of course you did. Oh my gosh. I live for angry comments on Facebook.
And this is very much not my energy.
Did you start it with funny how?
Yeah, it's interesting. Just a tip. A note on your tone. I found out that that there had been a Bosch walking tour of downtown Los Angeles after it had happened. But like, I think I'd like followed the like.
Is this on a Bosch group that you found
No,
this out?
it's like there is a like showbiz walking tour company or something that does these, like, they might even be free, but it's like some sort of like, we do these walking tour things. And I think I'd heard they were doing a Bosch one, followed the group, and they didn't mention it on Facebook, like it was on their Twitter or something, or vice versa. And I was like, just if you're gonna have social media, just the worst. When is the next one? Because you didn't actually post about it on Facebook, so there was no way for me to know. You know.
3 likes.
Yeah,
I like that you're self-aware, but did it anyway.
Yeah, did it
Yeah,
under my own
Whatever.
name.
You know what?
Under my own name.
Yeah.
Good, that's brave.
I hope it gets back
You're
to
brave.
them.
Hashtag brave.
Yeah. Anyway, this is not about adult pulp fiction.
No,
here.
we're talking about children's fiction.
On this show, we like to talk about children.
Children. Do we like them?
Rate your favorite.
Name your 3 favorite children.
that were murdered that still haunt you. The cold cases.
Yeah,
to this
Cold
day, Bosch.
cases.
Yes.
You can't name John Bonet. 2 on the nose, I think.
Whatever happened to her? I kind of followed her on the pageant circuit, and then she just
She disappeared
Yeah,
off the
I guess
face of
some
the
kids don't have it.
Yeah.
They don't
You know
have
what?
You know what?
Star quality and then not.
Some people have it. So we're talking about Goosebumps Deep Trouble. Now, I would
do you want
say-
to read the synopsis?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Hit up old Goodreads.
Yeah, let me get a Goodreads synopsis. I like that the Goodreads synopsis sometimes have like editorializing in them.
Oh my god! Yeah,
No, I don't want to sign up.
a minor entry.
Yes, or like okay,
Here's my
deep-
impression of Goodreads reviews. 4 out of 5 stars. Every book in the world is 4 out
4
of 5 stars. This one's a 3.89 and
Yeah.
not like a 4.10. I feel like everyone who's committed 11 hours to reading a book is unwilling to go.
I love-
Free.
When are you really willing to pull the trigger on that final star?
Yeah.
There are people that on Goodreads that like do not understand how to click the right number of stars.
Oh man.
Because they'll be like 1 star. I loved this book. like the first one.
Or people who will be like, I love this book. I didn't give it 3 stars though because of this one part.
Yes.
Oh,
1 star
that's not
taken
like
away
an
because I
overall.
don't think that there's any reason for this character to swear so much.
Yes.
And also, I wish it was Outlander. You know, like we're just
Yes.
like, well, you're bringing your own energy.
Or
to
yeah, when
this.
they're like, it wasn't like my favorite book. And it's like, well, no. There's lots of
Not
books.
every
Yeah.
book's going to be that.
I took off 2 stars because it's not my favorite. Every book needs to be better than the last until I die. Just an explosive exponential increase in quality.
I need
Come on, authors.
1,200 stars.
This book wasn't as long as I wanted.
Okay, ready? You guys ready to hear it?
Very.
Don't go in the water. Billy and his sister Sheena are visiting their uncle Dr. Deep on a tiny Caribbean island. It's the perfect place to go exploring underwater, and Billy's ready for an adventure. There's only one rule to remember. Stay away from the coral reefs. Still, the reefs are so beautiful, so peaceful. Billy
Sweet.
can't resist. But he's not alone in the water. Something's lurking deep below the surface. Something dark and scaly. Something that's half human, half fish. ... Oh, 3 stars. First line. Well, this book was so exciting.
That summary really kind of spoils the.
Yeah.
They don't say mermaid.
No.
But like, that's one of the top half fish, half humans.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel
There's
like-
also Shape of Water.
Like your brain's
Yes.
going to go there. Yeah.
fishy boy.
I
Yeah.
mean, this is what the lawsuit was. The
Yeah.
Shape of Water one, because this is
Yeah.
Arl
Well,
Stein
because
sued
it was
him.
like it was so many similarities that you couldn't
Yeah.
not deny that it was stolen.
Yeah.
I forgot what that's called.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, reasonable doubt. Was a lawyer. Okay, so this I would say this book was maybe one of the better.
Easily the best
Maybe the
Goosebumps
best Goosebumps we've
book
read.
I have ever read.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
was
That really shakes me because, again, I had not read a Goosebumps since I was a child and enjoyed Goosebumps. And I was shook by how, like, dumb they are.
Oh,
try
we
the
should
haunted
say
school.
okay. I will.
I'm going to say try Abominable Snowman of Pasadena.
That one's very bad.
Oh my God. Terrible. Terrible.
Okay, this one had way fewer
fake outs.
yeah, like, oh, and then there was a monster touching me. Oh no, it was just me in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like,
This had plenty of those, though.
usually
did,
there
but-
are 45.
Multiple, like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
There were
every,
multiple dreams. I didn't like the dream thing.
I hate
was
that.
pretty mad about that.
I mean, every chapter has the Goosebumps thing of just like, and I'm afraid that I've got to do the thing I shouldn't. Actually, I didn't.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
and so
like,
I
just
did not.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
But we have had so many more egregious examples that I think it's like
Like, what do you like better about this one?
That I liked that the mermaid was involved throughout, like a lot of it.
Yeah, I like that we had an actual mythical creature throughout
Yeah.
the book.
I liked
I liked the twist, I must say.
I
thought it was a
liked
good
it
twist.
too.
Yeah.
Didn't see it coming.
What, that she liked to eat squids?
I didn't see
She
that
likes to eat
coming.
pieces of squid.
Or that the
I
breakfast
love-
was spicy?
I love
You
a
didn't
good middle
Oh.
twist.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that did infuriate me. The like
The spicy
fire
chicken
coral.
salad or something.
Oh no, I put chili pepper in it. Also, I felt like that was
that
racist.
was the
I felt like
worst
just
one.
because like I've been attacked for serving spicy food, and I felt like it was a very white person thing to hate on spicy food. I was like,
Yeah, this book is written like by and for people that think like black pepper is
Yeah,
like too spicy. Like,
much, yeah.
like all the little kid jokes about, like, ugh, yesterday he served a Brussels sprout casserole.
Yeah.
A lot of focus on what and when they ate in this.
more
There
so than the other
sometimes
books.
is.
Here's the thing that I preferred on
Not to
this
jump
one.
around.
The
Feel free.
honestly, it doesn't matter.
We always
Nothing
do.
we do matters.
Honestly, life is a series of meaningless events. So
Yeah, we're completely
I
inconsequential.
had a experimental theater teacher in college, and I took his class just because I was like, I heard it was easy, and like the topic was spies. But one of the
What?
things about
Nice.
his weird like literary theory was that he did not believe in chronology
Oh.
vis-a-vis art. So like, if you wanted to say that like
oh,
the original Twin Peaks was inspired by The Matrix, that was like a fully valid. The idea that one came out before the other, like
Really?
he didn't believe in like authorship and had kind of
Wow.
this like post-structural. I don't fully understand it, but it was just like, oh, so you can just pretend that all things happen. Literally, I think my final project was I photoshopped his face into screen caps of movies we'd watched earlier and just like gave him a folder that had like 10 pictures on it and was like, you had been in all the films. And it's like, that's
yes.
brilliant. It's brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Excellent
yeah.
work.
If we gave grades, you would get an A, but
You're
we
a
don't. So
luminary.
pass. Pass.
but we are taking this class in a time before grades.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Grades don't exist
Grades
yet.
don't exist, and yet all they do is exist in all timelines.
Yes.
I'm a spy sent back into the past to get an A on this test. But anyway, the point is chronology means nothing. Let's jump around, guys.
So the thing that I appreciated about this is that yes, there were very annoying. Like the dream thing was very annoying. Like some of the
Always.
fake outs, like the chicken salad being spicy.
That was the worst. I think that was the worst one where it was
Yeah.
like the fire corals in the chicken salad.
yeah.
I was excited about the twist for a second because I thought perhaps he had been infected with something magical, like the idea
Yeah.
that he had scraped the fire coral and now like human food
Yes.
was tasting weird. I
Yeah.
was like, ooh, or is he going to transform into a fish man? Is he going to be?
That would be cool.
But it was just like,
That
nah,
would have been an
gotcha,
interesting
bro.
choice. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just
It's
chili
all
pepper.
gotcha, bro.
Not to note the master, but
Sure.
just a pitch.
I mean,
Yeah.
by all means, please
I think
do.
if R.L. Stein is anything as an author, it is a liar.
Right.
Yeah, and that is his
a
way of
liar.
like doing that, and that's I think the thing that's so egregious to me and happens more in other books. Like I think it was Haunted School. There's like a part where a kid is like, and then someone pushed me off a cliff, and then like the next part was like,
No,
but
they
he
didn't.
didn't.
Yeah.
And it
Ugh.
was my friend. It was my best friend, not
Like,
an enemy.
Yeah, it was like,
and he was
then the
hugging
monster.
me. And I was like,
Yeah, it was
what?
and then the monster grabbed me from behind
Yeah.
and threw me off a
The
cliff.
cliff.
And it's like, no, they didn't. And it was my friend, and they were giving me a hug.
Yeah, and he was like, and then my friend said, "I'm so happy you're safe." And then we like ran off to another adventure. But like,
Yeah, I can't remember
nothing was
which
bad
one
as
that was
that. That was in Haunted School.
Ugh.
I remember it's when they're in like the weird like picture world. Like basically, it's like when the picture gets
Yeah.
taken, they like go into the picture
Oh
world.
God, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, so it's when they're in the picture
that was in the
world.
40.
How do you feel about his, as was this, but I had no memory of it. I just remember the cover, and that's why I wanted to ask, how do you feel about his policy of covers and how they do or do not mislead? AKA they always mislead.
Yeah, they always
and
mislead.
titles.
I was a little pissy about that for this book.
What was the cover for this one?
A
it's with this-
hammerhead shark.
Yeah, and he gets like chased by a hammerhead
Well,
shark at
yeah.
one point, so I guess that's fine. But like, it's such a minor
He is a liar.
thing. Like, it's a minor character. I guess it like character.
I am against it. I will say I am
Yeah.
against it. That is my biggest complaint about R.L. Stein is like, he has no qualms about just like, yeah, this is unrelated, but it sells.
Yeah,
I mean, he also like a hammerhead shark is in a world like horror scary. almost nothing in this book. I mean, it's like YA thrills, but you'd be hard pressed to call this like horror. The mermaid is sort of nice the whole time, and it's it's
kind of sad.
It's an eco thriller.
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't like how he was like he gets away with like, it's called Goosebumps. There's melty letters.
Yeah.
The font is melty in a spooky, slimy way.
There's no monster blood in there.
Also on this cover is a giant like cave that's shaped like a skull, which we do not get.
Oh, this is a modern cover.
Oh yeah, that's the one that I had on mine.
Yeah,
on
Kindle.
on Kindle version.
On my Kindle
Condle.
version.
That's what we all had on #Condle.
Now a major motion picture?
No, they mean
litigate
Goosebumps,
that.
the movie.
Oh, okay.
Not Deep Trouble.
Not Deep Trouble?
Now
Did I miss that?
a
Is that the
motion
Meg?
picture.
Is this the Meg?
Yeah. So
fucking
many.
love
This
the
inspired so many things.
Finally, someone did a scary shark thing. That's
Yeah.
a great idea. I
Yeah.
feel like that could be huge.
Untapped gold mine.
The the tagline for this book, what was it? Is don't
just when you thought it was safe.
when you thought it was safe.
Not even to go back in the
to go
water.
in the
No.
water. Yeah.
I thought that you misspoke. Like
No.
that you didn't finish your
No.
thought.
No.
It's like, oh, she freezes up on the mic.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Every
I got nervous.
every week.
Yeah, oh, boy.
Every time the mic's in front of me, I
boy.
just stop talking.
I need to pick a new path.
I didn't like that either. I didn't like that it was portraying like something pretty scary. Like I remember seeing that cover and being like, oh, this is going to be scary.
Yeah.
And there's nothing really scary in this book. And maybe his two encounters with what is it? A squid type thing? A one-eyed monster? What is it?
Sea monster.
But we
sea
never get a
creature.
fuller view.
Nothing.
No.
And it's just like a
All we
bookend.
know is one eye.
What surprised me, and you have to tell me about how the other ones go, the spatial, like, his ability to actually do an action sequence is like real bad. Like the tracking of like, which are they on the boat or
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
characters
I
just
don't
suddenly
know.
seem to constantly be
It's-
in dinghies.
it's consistent.
He gets to a deserted island at some point.
I did not know that. And I read
/
the whole book.
lagoon
Oh, the lagoon, yeah.
where the mermaids are.
I didn't understand.
Where was this island?
I didn't understand the whole like setup of like what even the lagoon was, like why they were floating in the water, like why were they anchored? And then like they're anchored the whole time, but then there's also a dinghy sometimes.
Yeah.
And then there's the lagoon, which I thought lagoons were always up against land.
Yeah.
So then I was like, why aren't they on land?
deserted island.
It
It was a lagoon
on a
Of a
deserted
deserted
on a
island.
deserted island.
They also seem to talk to each other very easily, despite perhaps swimming a long way away,
Yes.
being on
Yeah.
a boat. Like I was like, is he already back on the ship? Oh no, now he has to swim like 100 yards around a red coral. Like they were just chatting in a
Yeah.
way that like
Also, how
felt
deep is
intimate.
the coral? What is the coral
Yeah.
attached
Yep.
to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also
What part of the world are they in where this red poisonous coral exists?
just touching it.
yeah.
And then that was the other thing too, right? Where they were like, R.L. Stine does this a lot where he'll like leave a trail of something and then like forget about it. When
Yeah.
he was like, oh, the coral, like if you touch it, it hurts. But like if you ingest it, that's another thing.
And then
I,
nothing is ever done
Ooh,
with
is that
it.
what the misdirect about
I
the
think it's for the egg
Being
or
in the food.
chicken salad. But other than that,
that's
I was,
resolved very quickly.
it's not.
yeah. And never touched on again.
Never. I thought he was gonna like make the shark eat it or something. Like I don't know. Like
I thought it was going to turn
distract-
him into the creature.
Yeah, something.
Make the bad guys eat it, something.
Yeah,
some
that's
sort
what I
of,
thought, those, like-
just
Anything.
desserts.
Yeah.
He's like the king of introducing things that he never uses.
Yeah, and it's just, and then okay, I also had issues with like spatially the boat. Like how big is it? It was constantly changing in size
Yeah.
to me
Yeah.
and structure and layout.
Even sometimes it was like a sailboat to me, and then sometimes like a
Yes.
motorboat, and sometimes a
Yes.
houseboat.
And sometimes it was like a fucking barge, and then sometimes it
Yeah.
was like tiny. And
Sometimes
then the
it's like
tank,
Sequest.
even just the tank
Yeah.
that's holding the mermaid. It's like I was
Where'd
so
the tank come from?
First, it seemed
Were
like-
they prepared to house a mermaid?
And then all of a sudden, it seemed like a one being tank. But then all three of them get dropped in
Yeah.
there. So then it was like bigger.
And he was like treading water.
I know.
Like is this a pool? Is
Yeah.
this like a like,
like
do you have
very
a
tall.
aquarium style tank with glass for display and a locked top, like you're at a fish market? Or,
Yeah.
The answer to that is yes.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this was quite a ship written by someone who maybe had never been on a ship.
I would believe that.
Had
Yeah.
only
Like,
heard tales
seen
of them.
them.
Yeah.
Off
Did your version
coast.
have the Q&A at the end with R.L. Stein?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
I skimmed.
Sad
I
indoor
skimmed
man.
through.
Really? It was only 5 questions. You just
Yeah,
you couldn't-
I was
Oh,
like,
I read one of the questions and I was like, I'm good.
it had been.
He's like,
I
I'm
had
afraid
been
of the ocean. I'm
reading.
afraid of all fish. One time a fish bit me and
Yeah.
I hated it. Tuna fish sandwiches are great.
What you have to understand is that I had just finished 12 hours of reading this book, and I was like, my eyes are tired.
Sure,
I
yeah.
can't anymore.
Tired, like your fingers are tired from looking words up in your physical
Yeah.
dictionary.
Yeah.
That he
Oh,
was just
yeah.
as
Because I
aggressive
hate using
vocab
the
user.
Kindle function.
No, because it's
No.
always like a deep definition that you
It's
need
too
to go
much.
to your Merriam-Webster.
And it's
Yes.
like biased.
yeah.
Yeah.
Biased.
The dictionary was written by the victors.
I mean, honestly, if I want the truth, I'm going to look in a book.
I have Noam Chomsky's dictionary. I guess. Words definitions written
Zinn.
by the worker. Look it up.
So in this book, we have Billy
Deep.
William Deep Jr.
Right, William Deep Jr.
You know what? That is an excellent explorer name. I will say.
It is. And his uncle is Dr. D,
Dr. D.
which I was like, tight.
Nice.
When he said that his uncle looked like a scientist, such that anyone who would meet him would probably think he was a scientist, I'm like, what a convenient character for you to create.
I
Where
know.
he just didn't even do the work. He's like, I don't know. He looks like what you think a scientist would look like.
It was-
That's Dr. D.
Like,
Classic.
picture that. That's what he looks like.
Classic R.L. Stein, like laziness. Like that could have been in a Fear Street book.
It could be in any.
In literally anything he does.
We've read so many R.L. Stein books at this point. We've been doing this podcast for over 2 years, and I am angry with him.
Do you think, and I mean this in a truly open-hearted, curious way, do you think
Sure.
you're getting dumber?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm someone like I don't judge like
Well-
obviously of like, you know, if one only wanted to read YA not just because of their job, I think that would be
Yeah.
like
Oh,
a
yeah.
lovely thing.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you also are mired in
Well, remember at the beginning of the podcast when I went, this is easily the best Goosebumps we've ever read.
Yeah.
I have been like trained to expect so, like, my expectations are so low
Sure.
that this was like the fucking great American novel of Goosebumps
You've
books.
been locked in a water tank of mediocrity trying to
Indeed.
use your barrette to open the latch.
Yeah.
But then
there were
I
2 more
discovered
latches.
that you didn't even see.
that I didn't see.
I'm seriously so
The
much
latch
dumber.
of my mind.
I can't even think of what is that? We have that thing where you're kidnapped.
So, yeah,
you're
we're
like,
getting dumber,
you're,
one could
and I
say.
keep thinking Shawshank, but that's not the word. The thing where like someone is like trapped you, and then like you are being. Oh, it's almost there. Okay, it's okay. Okay, so you're. I think it's like Polish or like. So, okay.
Oh, when you're kidnapped, and
and then you start to like
the
them.
people.
Stockholm
Because
syndrome?
yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Oh my god, I was like Shawshank.
Stockholm syndrome was such an obvious answer to me that I was
Yeah.
not saying it because
No.
I was like, well, surely it's not that.
It is-
Oh, and she said Polish, so it's definitely not that.
Because that's not Polish.
Is that not Polish? What is it?
Stockholm is a
Swedish?
city.
Stockholm, Sweden.
Yeah.
There's a whiteness to it that I get what
You
you
know
were
what?
looking
Here's
for.
the thing. It's
like
like because it's white,
snowy.
and
It's
I
like
just
pale.
I can't. Yeah,
It's
fully
like
understand.
doughy. I don't understand their
yeah.
food.
Yes, yeah. It's doughy, and I don't understand their foods. Classic.
They call things salads that probably
Yeah.
have like a lot of mayonnaise
Yeah,
and onions.
yeah,
And, like,
and
there's
there's-
no lettuce. Why is this a salad?
Yeah.
Why are we eating it
Yes.
after dinner?
Or like, why is there so much seafood?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. And it's like
you don't
this,
need to keep fish for the winter anymore.
No.
We
Yeah.
can just get new fish.
And like
Yeah.
you can serve
Just-
this hot if you
just get
want,
new fish.
but
Get
like
new fish.
you always serve it cold. Everything's served cold.
Like, just get an oven.
Just use fire.
New fish and an oven.
New fish in an oven.
Yeah.
You heard it from us. Here at
bits.
Teen Cramps.
If you have Polish disease, just get new fish in an oven.
Stop eating your gross pierogies.
I like pierogies.
I'm half Ukrainian. Watch it.
Oh
I'm
shit! We should
some
not have
degree
had
of
him
Polish.
on the show. We should not. Have.
My grandmother's last name, her maiden name was Warholic.
Oh,
And apparently I am somewhat related to Andy Warhol.
really?
Wow, I was going to say, is that his original? Is that his real name?
His isn't quite Warholic, but it's something similar. And we both, like, if you go back, our families came from the same small village, and we are a very specific ethnicity.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I maybe dated a girl or two in my early 20s in Brooklyn that was a Warholic that just had like a lot of cheap prints of
But
Andy
like a
Warhol things. In a way
Warholic.
it's like
Like a
cool, right?
Warhol.
It's soup, but it's art.
Yeah.
Factory.
Okay. Speaking of soup,
Yes. You'll get there.
soup is food. Chicken salad.
Chicken salad.
You got
salad
there.
on
You
a
got there.
boat.
You did it.
Here we are.
Brussels
Okay.
sprouts casserole
Brussels sprouts
being
casserole.
a gross. I mean, also like
Chili
this is a
powder.
guy that's making chicken salad,
Yeah.
maybe pancakes, and then suddenly the like, yesterday he made us a Brussels sprouts casserole for dinner.
Yeah.
I mean, putting aside the little kid Brussels sprouts are gross. Like this was written in a time before they were reinvented.
The
in like
great
And now
Brussels
they're
sprout
delicious.
revival.
Exactly.
Yes.
But like kind of an ambitious thing for a guy in a boat to make.
Yeah.
You know?
Again,
And he's
here's
trying.
the thing: is
Baking a
it
full
like
dish.
does he have a full kitchen? We don't know.
No,
don't know.
A galley.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got a galley.
Everything's hanging. It's
Yeah.
within reach.
Yeah.
Provisions.
Just get
Yeah.
new fish.
Yeah.
It's been a stressful day. Give everybody double jam, you know, because there's only enough jam. They did
You
all the
gotta
math. Yeah.
keep them happy. Close quarters.
It's like big canisters of things with brown paper, and it just says like
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I imagine this is like a 9-month voyage to find this. I guess it's a summer
Honestly,
vacation.
what
yeah.
gives
Blows my mind
it
is
is-
this wasn't even a mermaid finding mission.
No.
I don't remember
What were
what the
they
original
doing?
mission
Research,
was.
fish
Just
research.
Helping him do fish research.
Yeah.
We got to help. We got to help Dr. D do fish
He's a
research.
fish scientist.
Speaking of fish
He's
science,
the fish scientist.
right.
Oh, yeah.
William should have been named after him, not his dad, William D.
Yeah.
Jr. What's your
Where
dad
the
fucking
fuck
do?
is
I
his
want to see
dad?
my kid for the summer.
Take him.
So there's a moment in the book, if you haven't read it, which would be crazy, where
Do it. It'll take you 5 minutes.
yeah, the catalyst is that some people from the zoo
Oh yes, the zoo people.
show up and they offer a bounty for these mermaids, but
To a fish scientist.
Yeah, and they're also wearing like all white tuxedos.
yes, they're the husband and wife.
They're like Jesse, James.
We're philanthropists. But how we are just on board with the mermaid is that he's, I think, overhearing the conversation, and he says, but here was a grown man, a man who worked for a zoo, talking about a mermaid. That's when he decides the mermaids are real, because this
Yeah.
guy works for a zoo. Like
Yeah.
the full trust that's placed in the zoo was
Capital Z
really
Zoo.
Yeah.
Very child's thing to do.
Yeah, and
We
then
go,
what the
"They're a
zoo's evidence
grown-up."
is that they've now heard a lot of
Fishermen.
fishermen, and the stories are very similar. The fish bottom, lady top.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Green fish bottom, blonde hair. Did you notice they didn't
Small
say
for a
what was
woman.
covering her titties?
I mean,
I was like, dang, are those titties out? I was
Yeah.
so concerned.
like I
Also,
felt
she
like
sounds like a child.
right.
so then, I
Oh,
mean,
that would have been weird if you described it like her hair fell across
Her prepubescent.
cherubic but as soon as, because I didn't know it was going to be a mermaid book, I thought it
budding
was
breasts.
a hammerhead shark book, because I'm
yeah, I mean,
naive.
as did we all.
I took the bait, no pun intended, but
Oh, wow,
as
Liz.
soon as I found out it was a mermaid, I was like, well, how's he going to handle that?
Yeah,
Like, are we talking clamshell bra?
literally not say
Nothing.
anything.
Yeah.
That's how
He
you
could
handle
have
it.
even like, because look, I'm
She
not
felt
saying
no
I know a
shame,
lot
so
about
I felt no
mermaids.
shame.
Oh my god, fucking Lolita shit.
Well, they're with children.
She had no shame, just
Yeah.
like a child would.
I unbuckled my Oshkosh bagage. Drawstring pants.
She like I was very like I could not believe every time he mentioned her. I was like, I can't believe we're not going to talk about the elephant in the room here.
Yeah.
Like it's just not going to happen.
Your job as an author to paint some sort of word picture, and I get that you don't need to lean into that, but like you are making us imagine a flock of blonde. Like what's and William is obsessed with her.
Yes.
Immediately. Not
He's
that-
like she's so
Definitely
beautiful.
seem like they're the same age.
yeah.
She did. Yeah.
And he's how old is he? Does he
12.
say?
She his little sister's
Okay.
10.
Okay.
Oh, she's so young to
Yeah.
be on this adventure. Well,
Yeah,
that's
no, too young to be swimming out.
Also, I really had a fear that she was the mermaid for a little while.
Oh, that's scary.
Like
Yeah.
she'd been a secret mermaid, and
Yeah.
she's like,
Yeah.
time to
Secret
learn your
mermaid.
She's like
family.
splash.
Yeah.
She's like, when
Ever
I touch
noticed how
Madison.
I always wear skirts?
Yeah.
And I've never had like bifurcated pants or
Have
anything.
you ever noticed that I'm constantly laying down and
Yeah.
always in skirts?
In my mind, all the skirts were short, and I was like, not a good plan. That's not going to hide anything.
Billy, you always make jokes about how my butt smells like fish, but your joke is closer to reality than you'll ever know. I'm a fish. My butt is a fish butt.
And so
noticed
it
I
was
had a
never
fishbowl.
as hurtful to me as you wanted it to be.
So he hears from the zoo people, the zoo couple, right? Like they were together, those two people.
There was an energy
I felt
there,
like they were like definitely sexy together.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay,
But they don't believe in marriage.
they don't.
Yeah, the zoo is
They're
their
polyamorous.
as their spouse.
Yeah.
The zoo is they're both married to the zoo.
They're married to the zoo, yes.
Okay. So it's a throuple, them and the zoo. They come and they like come in their own boat and like come on board and they're like, hi.
Hey,
And like, hi, we heard
Yeah.
that you're the guy to talk about
we heard
fish
from
science.
the dock master that this is where you were moored, so we took our own boat out here.
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't call, but
Also, we're not sure if either of us, if you're docked, if we're docked, we're not sure where we came from.
How do we get
Are
home?
you moored? Are we unmoored?
All we know is that we have $1 million
Yeah.
and that we're ready to give it to you.
And look,
And this is how zoos work.
you could say from a business perspective, it's irresponsible for us to tell you the financials of our plan.
Absolutely.
We're going to make $20 million, but we're only offering you one. I hope you don't see any holes in that. Please, yeah.
I think that was just Alexander's business acumen.
Alexander.
I mean,
to
Alexander
go
was
after.
like, I mean, Dr. D is, I mean, he's short-sighted. He's trying to
Yeah.
save his lab.
Yeah.
Trying to
Yeah.
pay bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can, like only see an inch in front of his face. But Alexander sees.
That's why he's a bad cook.
sees-
That's why his whole wheat pancakes apparently get thrown under
What?
the bus.
You
He's
know
making
what?
these kids
Yeah.
pancakes on a boat. It's like,
Oh,
be
nightmare.
happy.
Nightmare.
I think I'll just have
pancakes.
cereal boat pancakes.
Oh yeah, when they diss him
cakes.
with cereal and everyone's like, I'll just have cereal. I was like, all right, guys. The cereal's probably not much better.
What a weird
Also-
loner dad that's like, what food the kids hate? Casserole, Brussels sprouts casserole, chicken salad, that's bad.
Chili.
And whole wheat pancakes.
What else do they hate? Flavor.
I just ate buttered macaroni every single day until I was 18 and finally left my house. And now all I do is write and take books out from the library. What a fucking loser R.L. Stine is.
The Lindsay Katai story, more like.
Oh, you love buttered noodles.
Yes.
Oh my God, you would.
I grew up on it.
Did you grow up in like a we only eat tan food type of family?
Worse,
Shades of
white
beige.
food.
White foods,
and,
wow.
And also worse, my choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, child's
Not-
choice.
Yeah, so
Boy's choice.
like family trying to
Why
get
were you
me to
given that
branch out.
agency?
That's a good question.
I mean, it's
I
cool.
think like my parents just raised me to be independent,
Sure.
think for myself,
They're
and
bad parents.
unfortunately, my brain is not a good one, and so they should have
Right.
known better.
Yeah, when
They
you
rolled
were
the
like
dice.
8, they were like,
It's like-
you should not have done this.
It's like it's
Man.
such a nice sentiment
needs
to think for
guidance,
yourself,
structure.
but if you're not good at thinking, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, now
Nice.
clearly you are. You're doing fine, but like,
And now I have cereal for every meal,
Or gummy worms.
which also is
Gummy worm
sadly
dinner.
true.
I can't
Yeah.
believe you didn't have gummy worm dinner this week.
I'm trying to wean myself off
Probably a good idea.
my
I make
horrible,
full Brussels sprouts casseroles for myself 1 to 4 nights a week.
but not broiled, not grilled.
No. I just submerge it in
boiled,
water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just stick it in the oven.
And not even boiled,
I modify
just
my
like
oven to be a steam
softened.
oven. Yeah. Just steam everything to death. Yeah.
Okay, so these kids hate the food that Alexander makes. What's interesting is that Alexander jumps from like he's like, these kids don't like my chicken salad, so I'm gonna make them squid. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that
It's a
jump
real leap.
is
Yeah.
like that's the wrong direction. They thought your chicken salad was weird and spicy. You shouldn't do squid ink marinated
And then
squid.
that's when I thought he might be the sea creature.
Oh,
And that's why he didn't know
'Cause
how to
he's
make human food.
He's talking to his brethren.
Yeah,
sisters.
And also waist up, he's hunky in a mermaid type way.
Yeah,
he's like
tan and
athletic
blonde
exactly.
and very
so hunky.
thick.
Like he's hunky to the point where just by looking at him, Billy assumes he's good at punching.
right.
Yeah, and that he looks the opposite of a scientist.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
does not look like a scientist.
You know,
So
you
whatever-
hate scientists, not
not that.
Alexander. He's the kind of guy you like to look at.
Yeah.
You imagine him punching stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just see it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Every night under your covers.
Ropey muscles from just
Oh, so
helping
sinewy.
haul fish samples
Ropey.
all day long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just like long ropey muscles.
Yeah.
It's like an earned musculature, you know. It's
Yeah.
not like, oh, you go to
Yeah.
the gym. It's like, oh wow, like
Yeah.
you like
It's from
this is physical.
work
Yeah.
on
Like,
a boat.
You
Yeah.
don't have muscles, you need muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His hands are just like knotty and like
Yeah.
leathered
And like
Yeah.
like when he touches your face, it like scratches you.
right.
Was anyone else shipping him and the little girl mermaid? Or was that just me?
Sorry. The adult 20-something guy.
Well, they're the same species.
Little girl mermaid.
Right? Just me? I thought we were all fans of Lolita.
Here's the thing. I could see why you
Max
like that.
started it.
I can see why.
Yeah.
I just said that they both were innocent in a way that immediately made them comfortable with her nudity.
Yeah. Same.
I also, I could have imagined a twist where we find out at the end that she's 400 years old. I mean, this idea.
Oh, but like that's like a fun thing though, right? When someone's like 400, but they look like a child. So it's like,
Yeah, we've talked about this
okay.
before. It's okay as long as they still look
I guess
like
that's
a
a
child,
lot
but
of like
aren't.
horny fairy stuff. Is this like,
Yeah.
and like elf kind of like,
yes.
no, I'm wise.
Yeah.
It's fine. But like, I did stop aging when I was like, you know,
Fuckable age.
Yeah.
Like
I
peak
took-
fuckability. I stopped aging.
Peak.
I took weird child actor hormones, so my bones stopped changing shape or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm always this height.
Yeah.
That's why like there's like Vaseline on the lens of all like fairy and elf people being filmed. Because it's just like, I'm young, trust me.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Keep reading. The author really enjoyed writing this scene. Long nights at the typewriter.
So I did enjoy the like irreverence of their relationship, but I don't think I shipped them.
Oh, weird.
I mean, I could see why one would.
Thank you.
So I'm not trying to yuck your yum. I think.
I love that phrase. It's a
Thank
good
you
phrase.
so much.
That phrase, every time you use it, is horrifying to me.
It's because it kind of sounds sticky.
I get the sentiment. Yeah, it's specifically the wording of the phrase.
Well, see, what she's saying is that your yum, what you
Right.
find yummy, is
Your
a
yum, yum,
man-
yummy butt.
a man and a child fish girl.
Oh, okay. Now
like
we're
a
on-
born perfect
You're like,
child
yum,
fish
girl,
girl.
I wanna eat
Yeah.
that.
No,
That's
no,
what
no.
makes
Yeah.
me hungry
You're
and
like,
also full.
Yummy,
Now we're
yummy. Put it in my
No,
sticky
no.
mouth.
Yeah.
Now we've gotten back to a bad place.
You're like, that's mommy's food.
No,
And
yeah,
we're
I
like,
don't
gross.
like
And you're like,
this.
baby
Yeah,
wants
yeah.
the food
No,
now,
please
mommy,
stop.
mommy.
Please stop.
And then,
DoorDash. Me want to DoorDash that to me mouth. And it's like, oh.
and then,
I do not enjoy
that's
this
like your yum.
at all.
Yeah.
so it's like
Yeah.
yummy to you. You didn't like that?
Well,
That's the food we want. I guess.
yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, okay, so the I did appreciate that, and I guess this was similar to another terrible book that we read that involved a mythical creature.
Sure.
With Abominable Snowman of Pasadena.
Yes.
Pasadena.
In that the
Why couldn't it just be abominable smell? Like,
Yeah.
because
you know,
they live in Pasadena.
sure, but like, I would be scared by a snow creature. Just be on vacation in
Well, here's the
Yukon.
thing. They
Here's the
are on
thing.
vacation. They're
Yeah.
only in
Pasadena?
Pasadena for
He
like
does not
10
originate.
pages.
What happens in the end is just that they lose him in Pasadena.
Oh, okay.
So he's from
Hugely
and
irresponsible.
so at first
and
he's like,
it's-
it's beautiful here, but then he finds out how like high the taxes are.
Yeah.
Just because it's actually, and so he's like, oh, this is so nice. I love LA, but it's like more
Yeah.
Republican than he expected.
and then
Yes.
he moves to Sun Valley.
right.
yeah.
I mean, he's like, I didn't know about Rose Bowl traffic.
Yeah.
during
Yeah,
Trojan
it's
season.
pretty
This is
bad.
a nightmare.
Yeah.
And
so-
it's like, I mean, the 5 is bad enough.
Yeah.
So he'll go with the 5.
16 minutes to Hollywood. Yeah, maybe in the middle of the night
Yeah.
is what he says. That's the
yeah,
far line.
exactly. Yeah.
So he moves to, and he actually moves to like Realtors Sun Valley. It's actually Silmar.
Yeah.
It's like far. I mean, it's like only like 20 minutes, but it's like far. There's just no traffic to get out
The
there.
R.L.
Yeah.
Stein of listings.
Yeah.
Realtors. Yeah. You're fudging the
Very
truth just to get me.
misleading.
Yeah.
get me on
Very
board.
misleading.
Yeah, when you get there, it's like, and then it wasn't.
Then it wasn't. It was still Sun Valley.
But the thing I did enjoy about that, I mean, the thing that I appreciated about the protagonist in these was that he was like, we should not keep this being captive. Like,
Yeah.
she should be free. So I did appreciate that. The
It
thing
had
that
a pure message running
Yes.
through
Yes. Yeah.
that I felt was perhaps not ahead of its time, but at least not out of step.
Yeah.
it was
And
fun.
of its
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
Of its time.
Dr. D
yeah.
learned a lesson.
Yeah.
He did, and he turned around.
Yeah.
What I hated is that, like, and this happens with every Goosebumps book, is that the little sibling is just
Always
like
annoying.
an annoying little
Always
idiot
annoying.
Yeah.
who
Deserves
does-
to die.
honestly, yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Kill
and
her. I hate her.
kill her. I would have loved if like she died in the scuffle with those men.
Right, right.
The like men that were like stealing the mermaid.
A torch hit her on the back of the head, and Billy
Yeah.
was like, and she was gone. And then you turn the page. Yeah, she
Yeah,
was
for
gone.
real.
No,
She was
that
gone.
one was real. She's dead.
and you're like,
No way
thank
anyone
you.
could survive that. All
Yeah.
the mermaids were accounted for. No one could save her. She's fully dead.
No, but like for real, full dead.
Yeah, all of the 30 mermaids looked at each other, did a head count, and said, all of us are here and have always been here from
Yeah.
the beginning.
This is her priority right now, not saving a girl that kind of deserved it. Speaking of like the siblings and the little ones, I couldn't, in other Goosebumps, is like, is the impetuousness of like the hero kid always rewarded as much as it is? Because it kind of feels like there's some physical harm at the beginning, but like everything works out, and ultimately Billy was like doing the right thing. He found the mermaid. He had the right instinct with the mermaid. Like there was certainly no lesson of like, well, I'm
That's
never going
true.
back in the water again. It was like, I fucking rule. I'm
Yeah.
I'm Billy
but
Deep.
he might get, except that there's a deep trouble too. But
Oh my
if it had
God.
ended here, maybe he got eaten by that sea creature.
Yeah. I
Right.
think there is like, I think
Except
that
that is, of course, not what happened.
Yeah, of course
no,
not.
of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
not.
That didn't happen.
And the sequel's going to start with like, and it was my best friend hugging me
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the water, and the water was a pool, and I was at home in Pasadena,
And it was actually a bathtub.
I was showering.
It wasn't Silmar after all. One Day at Horrorland, doesn't that end badly for everybody? Do you remember that
Yeah,
one?
I think they all
That's a pretty
turn-
beloved.
I do have some memories of like ones where like they seem okay, and then it's like, but we were all ghosts
Kind
now.
of
or
like-
We were
something
all
like that.
aliens.
Yeah,
We're-
like kind
yeah.
of like what ends up happening to like the local townspeople at the end of an X-Files episode, where it's like Mulder and Scully like solve the main thing, and then there's like a monster egg that like hasn't been
Right.
hatched yet, and then
Right.
it's like, oh, but that's for like
Yeah,
those like Vancouver extras to figure out, not
Right.
like
we're gone.
yeah,
Next case,
like we've
yeah.
got
Yes,
other
yeah.
things to
Yeah.
do. Like so there's kind of that kind of feel where they are like, oh well, you know, this thing's gonna happen maybe, but I think it usually ends up pretty good for these kids, and they
Right.
are always right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
if they feel something, and I think that is a good thing to like teach kids, right? Like, if you get like an icky feeling about somebody, like, you should maybe hold on to it.
Right.
Like, it just makes me think of like how
Treasure
parent-
it. Just like keep it with you
visit
forever.
it every once in a while.
File it away. Create a mind palace and fucking fight it there every night in your dreams.
Wake up like tangled in your
Yeah,
sheets
yeah.
and covered in sweat.
Yeah,
Sweat.
make that your life.
Never trust adults. Ever.
Never,
Yeah,
ever.
They will not listen to you.
No.
You have to
Never.
solve this problem on your own.
Yes.
Or not at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
They will never believe you.
Yeah.
That is a huge thing with these books, is that the adults never believe the kids. They're either absentee, like not there at
Yeah.
all, or they don't believe the kids.
What is the, like, I never read, I think I tried to read one Fear Street
Mm-hmm.
book, and it was like, I think I was just too young and it was a little too sexy of just like, I don't know, babysitter like trying to make out with her boyfriend while someone
Yeah.
like broke into the house. It was like a little too like, I can't handle this.
Oh, that would be the babysitter.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
But does like, are there consequences in that book? Like, does that series deal a little bit more with
People die.
death?
Yeah, people
Okay.
do
People
die.
definitely
There's
die.
one where in the cheerleaders series, one of the cheerleaders gets locked in a shower and boiled to death.
It's horrifying.
Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy?
I think that happens in maybe Nightmare on Elm Street too.
Probably.
Excuse me, as well. I don't know which Nightmare on Elm Street it happens in, but I
Please
feel like
be
there's
specific.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen some sauna deaths. I feel like in horror movies.
Yeah,
before.
yeah, for sure, for
It's
sure.
a scary thing. I jumped straight from Babysitters Club to Fear Street. So I didn't have this
Wow.
goosebumps in between.
Right. You weren't
Era.
learning the laws of suspense through Goosebumps the way I did.
No. I jumped right to Christopher Pike's Monster, in which the girl maybe does or doesn't lose her virginity in a lake to a boy who looks
yeah.
like a high school football player, but is in fact an alien vulture
wow.
who bites her, and they like bleed and have sex together, and then she's an alien vulture. So I went straight
vulture?
from
Yeah, like a vulture type creature. It's just like
from
a
outer
birdish
space.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes, it's she turns into something like a vulture at the end. So I was
Eats
10
the dead.
reading
Does
that
what a
book.
vulture does? Is that what a vulture does?
Yeah,
What
it's
eats yeah,
scavenger.
scavenging.
Yeah.
Vultures
Carrion.
are big. You know, the California condor is big.
I
They're-
get scared when I see them at the park. I have
Yeah.
a dog that's like 45 pounds.
Oh,
and I'm
that'll
like,
get
this
for
thing.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe I've never seen a California condor. Excuse me, at the park. But when I see like
Large.
those big wingspan, like the hawk vibes, I'm like,
Yeah.
this thing could kill my dog.
Yeah.
I was sitting in the
And wants
Silver.
it more.
Yeah, I was sitting in the Silver Lake Meadow like last year, and everyone was picnicking, and this hawk just swooped down, and like caught this little gerbil thing and like carried it away, and everyone was like, "Oh!" Like it was like the way it was. Did you ever see Spirited Away?
Yeah, but I don't
never have.
remember it. Well.
Sorry.
Was
Never
it like
mind.
that?
Well, there's like a really cute part where this like gerbilish creature gets like carried by a little winged creature and its like little tummy is hanging and it like is swinging in the air, and it was like that but sad.
Right.
I was like,
He wasn't
like
helping
that,
the small
but
creature
dramatic.
get somewhere.
no,
needed
he
to
was
be.
like helping it feed its children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many fantasy movies where birds come in to save the day, and I'm like, these things are disgusting. These
No,
are-
yeah, I'm like a creepy animal lady, and I always have to like touch animals that I encounter,
Sure.
and like
Being one yourself.
as I am an animal myself.
Yeah.
And like people think I'm gross for doing this, but like if a bird lands on me, I like it. If it's like on my hand,
If a bird lands on you, is
like
it
if I'm
you
trying to
said
feed
that.
it,
Oh,
if
I
I'm
see.
feeding it and it lands on my hand to eat from my hand, then I'm like, oh yay,
Right.
and everyone's like, you're so gross, which I know it's gross, but I'm gonna wash my hands.
Yeah. There's a lot of gross things I guess we touch, but
Yeah.
it's like one day this
fair.
hand will be clean.
Yeah. So I'm
Eventually.
like, it may not be today, but
Yeah.
this hand will be clean.
Yeah. Before I touch my face again, I promise to wash this.
Yeah. Yeah.
By going out in a rainstorm.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a bird. I don't make a point to feed them, I guess, but I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever had a bird like crawl onto me. Crawl, fly,
It's like crawl.
crawl.
Is this in an
Picturing it using its wings. It's like the fucking ring, dude.
Yeah, getting a
I've laid
handle on
trap
the
for it
ground.
and broken both its wings. So at this point, it doesn't have a lot of
It has
options
to
here.
crawl.
Can't use its feet.
Wings are just a burden when they're broken. You know,
Yeah.
it's that much harder to walk.
Are you just out in uncontrolled environments with birds landing on you?
No, actually, it's always been in Hawaii.
okay.
Yeah, like once was
Like in an aviary.
not even. I was like at oh no, once it was in San Diego, in Old Town San Diego, while we were eating,
What?
and I had like a little piece of chip, and then I was holding it out, and then a bird landed on my hand and ate the chip, and then everyone at the table was like, "Don't do that."
A bird? You mean like a
A
pigeon?
little sparrow.
Oh, a sparrow.
I would not have a pigeon land on me.
Right.
That is like
It's cool how brave city birds are. You mean pigeons?
Yeah, like I am like nasty, but like not that. Like I have some standards. So like
I like when like they have like one big tumorous green
Yeah.
eye and like,
I like when,
clearly,
like-
have scars from shit that's gone down.
I like when like one of their legs is like doing the splits. And I like when they land and the other one the leg just like lays on me.
It's cool. You can see the veins in their claws.
Yeah.
I think I have said before, but my few interactions with just like birds out in the open have been like crows diving at my head to pull some hair out from my head to use for their nests.
Oh wow!
This has happened multiple times.
Wow.
I mean, that's sweet in its way.
I want to like look up how to make a raven be friends with me, because like apparently they give you like shiny presents.
Oh wow!
For real, they're really
Yeah,
smart,
they do.
and they'll
They
tell
bring you
other
things.
ravens too.
Yeah.
Like if you like,
They hold grudges.
So if
Yeah.
I'm missing any trinkets or baubles,
I
perhaps
probably will
it's
have them.
Probably a raven.
at your place.
All of your trinkets and baubles that you leave
I
out.
mean, I leave them
Yeah.
out to dry after I wash them each morning. I put them out on the deck.
by hand. You
Yeah.
have a very long morning.
Trinkets and baubles need to dry.
So okay, how do we get back to this book?
I'll tell you how. What if, would you be cool if a mermaid landed on you because you held
Nice.
out a chip? Thank
Nice.
you.
I would want that fish. I like
To
touching.
land on
you know
you?
what? Not to take it away from it again, but I enjoy touching fish also. Like if there's like a big koi pond and then I have food and I put my hand under the water, the fish will like take it from my hand.
Hey,
I was
Max, what
I was at.
would you like to
on
say
the
that's
Cape
not that?
A few weeks ago, and like at this like little like beach right on the shore, like it was like almost like a little bay, like
Yeah.
just like laying like, and it was at the end of the day, and the tide was coming in kind of a gross way because it wasn't deep, but
In
like
a gross way.
no, it was just like it just kind of was sputtering, and we were like right by like the
In
street.
like a lazy way.
But like all these little minnows just started washing up and flopping on the sand,
Oh,
and so
sad.
like we're all
Sad,
at the beach
sad.
trying to like kind of kick the minnows back in the water. It's like, why are you hopping
With
but
your
then these
foot?
and then these
Ew.
big fish were like this. This clearly was like what happened every
It's
day.
supposed
We
to
just happened to be
happen.
there at
Yeah.
5:30.
This is the ecosystem.
Yes, and
Yeah.
the bigger fish were like darting to get them in the shallow water,
my God,
but then
that's
some of the
terrifying.
big fish would also get stuck flipping and flopping as
So
the
you
tide
just like
rushed in.
punted big fish?
I mean, that I lifted one up and threw it back in the water. But we're like, what are we doing? We're like saving dying fish to get killed. Like we were pushing them back in
Yeah.
the water, and then
To
the
their
big fish
immediate
would
death.
eat them. And then I then saved the one I was, but I had to pick it up, and it's just like doing
and then
that
you're
with
trying to-
my
Slurpee,
hand.
yeah.
It's like, why? And like all these like local people were like looking at like the four tourist people
you
doing this,
doing?
being like,
That's
this
so
happens every day. You're
embarrassing.
trying to save.
Yeah, this
like,
is their
You're gonna
life.
go eat a fish dinner 20
That's
feet
true,
away
that's
after this,
true.
and you're trying to save these garbage minnows.
Okay, what if you picked up one of those big fish and then like tried
it to the restaurant?
Yeah, take it to the restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
I
brought
picked this
my own.
one. I
What's
picked
your
this one.
corkage fee? Yeah. You have like a hot
You can
grill
bring
I
your
use?
own, but
Right,
there
right.
is a corkage fee for the
a
fish.
guttage fee where
Yeah,
they'll clean it
guttage.
for you
Oh,
and
that's
then just
so
throw some lines on
Scaling
it or whatnot.
fee.
Yeah. Well, so you've touched a fish and
Yeah.
here you are.
Don't love
You're
it.
alive. You don't love it.
Yeah. But, I like wipe my dog's butt every day. I'm like not above touching animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Spicy chicken salad. Speaking of
So it's
fish,
chicken salad.
I did also like that Billy assumes that because she's about his same age that she must eat what he eats. He jumps right to
know.
like, she probably
He
eats what I
really
like.
says
right?
that too. Yeah.
yeah,
And so
he
he puts
says
some
that.
chocolate
He
chip
puts the
cookies
cookie
in the
in there.
water.
She doesn't
Which
want- and then
I
she does
was-
the international sign for being hungry, which is chewing motion, which I truly feel like in no civilization, like animal, anytime like someone would go like make a chewing.
I'd be like, get away from me with
Yeah.
those chompers.
Yeah,
Also,
you're trying to
'cause
bite me. You're
that's-
talking
they're
about
trying to
biting.
bite me.
That's a biting
Yeah,
motion.
that's biting.
So chewing means you're moving your
Masticating,
mouth around.
and it's like,
yes,
oh.
with your mouth closed, and then that.
I'd be like, did a tooth fall out? Are you
Yeah.
sick?
Yeah,
like,
no,
why
I would be worried about
Are you
like,
rolling
something's
something
coming
around
out.
in your mouth?
Yeah.
Ninth on my list would be like, oh, you want to chew food?
Yeah.
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 And
You
she
wish
has
there
hands.
were food in there.
So like, I don't know why she wouldn't like bring her hand to her mouth.
Yeah.
Well,
like
but-
feeding feels like a very like
Yeah.
monkeys do that. Monkeys are like
Yeah.
Did she eat the way fish eat, which is just to open her mouth and then swim at the food?
right. It also, I mean, it's a little dark and not dealt with. That like
Just like a human face going.
she's a protectorate of the ocean, but she also eats fish.
But she's also a
Yeah.
mammalish creature, right? So then does she
Yeah,
have teeth or baleen? I was doing a lot of research about
Baleen.
baleen versus teeth
a wonderful
whales.
Dolly Parton
Okay.
song.
Baleen.
Yeah.
Scales of green, whatever. You can go on.
The whales that have baleen versus whales that have teeth.
Mm-hmm.
So did you know
What whales have
Probably
teeth?
not.
It's
some
like a
whales have
dog with
teeth? Sperm
dentures. What is
whales,
that?
sperm whales, killer whales.
had no
Yeah,
idea.
I learned this
Yeah.
in Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess now I can
gets all
picture a
the
killer
sperm-
whale with
See,
the
like
little, like the sharp teeth.
the little
Yeah.
shark teeth or sharp teeth.
Both.
Shark
Either.
teeth.
Either and both.
Yeah, but they both the way that they evolved was like a long time ago creatures came out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about that.
But then they went back in, and that's how whales were. They weren't always in the water.
Whales.
They evolved
around.
from hooved
They evolved
creatures.
on land and
Yeah.
then went back.
Yeah. Yeah, so they were hooved creatures that then evolved
Wow.
into like hippo-ish creatures, which then evolved into whales.
This is like when
Wow.
like feminist comedians get in trouble and they become kind of men's rightsy again. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Exactly
you did
like
make an
that.
evolution and you decided to not
To
stick
just
with
go
it.
right
Yeah,
back.
it was
Yeah.
actually a little safer.
Yeah.
Or like, the option of being on land was taken away from you because
Right.
it turned out that you liked the water the whole time and you just were putting on an air of loving the land.
Oh,
like
because
that.
it was like convenient for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was money to be made on the land.
Opportunist.
you know?
Yeah.
Whales.
Fucking whale
Fucking whales,
comedians.
man.
Whales,
Never
dude.
trust a whale comedian.
Never trust a whale comedian.
Where are the jokes?
Okay, so he's like, no, don't steal away this mermaid. We got to set her free. He keeps trying to set her free. It doesn't
Yeah,
happen.
he's worried that that when she's taken, that she's going to become this big attraction. And he says they'll probably put her in TV commercials too, and TV shows and movies. He's kind of like thinking through. He's like, I'm sure she'll start with commercials.
But
I know.
Yeah.
Well, he understands the entertainment. like-
Yeah, and like TV is obviously
Yeah.
the first step, but like
It's
to be a
much-
film
yeah.
actor,
Right.
you would love to not have to do TV.
and like doing some more serious roles too.
even
Like-
though like commercials are more lucrative when you're starting out.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice to say no to them, to be like,
Yeah.
I'm only doing narrative.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
obviously, if the right TV thing comes along after you transition to film and it feels like
Yeah.
this feels special, you would go back
yeah.
and do it.
But then again, there's far less of a stigma now.
It's true.
it's
this was
true.
really at a time
Golden
when,
age of television has
Yeah, but
come
this
and
was
gone.
1994, and
Yeah.
things were a
Oh,
lot
no,
different
no, no.
then.
This was
But
when-
you could buy a
the
house if
industry
you
has
got a
gotten no
commercial
easier
then.
for mermaids.
No.
It feels like it has, but I think
But
this is
no.
lip service.
Yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Mermen, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Mermaids.
Mer too? Oh, come on, guys.
Hashtag mer
that
too.
joke sucked.
There are
Okay,
no
so-
bad jokes.
so-
There are only bad joke tellers.
So, okay, he's really bad at getting her free. He like,
They really do fail
he
at every turn.
But he like the way he tries is
never
just
help.
like touching the tank. Like he doesn't like do anything.
It just hit me that like in no way are they any assistance at any point down the line.
No.
I wish there'd been some understanding of like, well, what does he have to, if he were to break the tank, would he have to carry her up the stairs? Is it a little bit of like, I need to
What
get
if
her into
she's
the water?
slippery?
I'm sure.
He is
Or would he
just
have to grip her
thinking.
by the top of her, and it's like she doesn't have a top on. This
We
is
don't
like,
know.
this is
Oh,
gross.
no,
Where
but
are you
her
gonna put your
hair
hands?
and also
supporting
her
her armpits.
But she
Yeah,
has such an
no.
open attitude, though. So it's like,
Right.
Yeah.
just read the room.
In some ways, though, his shame would be teaching her shame, and that's so sad because
And then-
her people clearly don't
exactly.
have none.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
our original
Who
sin,
is
not
he?
theirs.
Who is he
Yeah.
to project that onto her?
Yeah. He's the snake in the garden or whatever.
Oh,
Or
he's
whatever.
the
Yeah.
apple.
Right.
So then, oh right, Alexander's
Alexander
like, oh, you're
sold them out.
communicating, and then he's like, go to bed, and then he
Like
like,
kids go to bed.
Bedtime is such a big thing in YA stuff. Like, it's just like huge things will happen, and they'll be like, all right, time to go to bed. We'll deal with this tomorrow.
because things have to happen when they like wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh,
Yeah.
What?
Adults aren't watching me for
Yeah.
but a brief moment.
Yeah.
yeah. So then, Billy wakes up. He hears sounds. He like, or no, he's like, I want to go like look at the mermaid at night.
It's like, I'm just going to go see if I'm going to ask her if she's into me.
Yeah. I'm in
Yeah.
it.
Oh, remember
Yeah.
the fake out where the mermaid was dead, but oops, no, she wasn't. She was just crying.
That was
Oh,
another
that's a
bad
sad
one.
fake
Yeah, it
out.
was a sad fake
Also,
out.
how do they
worse,
know
she's
she's crying? She's in water.
She was like, oh.
Well, no, she wasn't in water yet.
Oh,
That's why they thought she was dead. I thought.
They kept her out of the water for too long.
No,
I
she
was very upset
she
by
like
that.
sank to the bottom of the tank.
Oh yeah, she was
I
laying on her
thought.
side at the
Oh,
bottom of the
And
tank.
it's not just she's crying. It was like tears were streaming down her face.
Yeah,
Well,
and
maybe it's a different viscosity. It's like an oil and water
Oh.
thing.
Yeah,
Or like
I
those,
bet that is
um,
exactly
That's
what he
exactly-
thought. Yeah.
I'm sorry to have to step out all
No.
of Arnold Stein's good work here.
No, that was on me.
Yeah.
Again, I'm bad at thinking. Yeah.
Then, oh right, so then Billy comes out to like ask the mermaid if she's DTF, and then the like he's like, oh my god, there's like guys dressed in like sneaky clothes,
Yeah.
and
Wearing masks.
yeah, they're wearing like full masks.
Yeah. In case the boat has cameras.
Yeah,
It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be
I mean, it's just
identified.
cold, you know, like
Oh,
ocean
oh,
air.
their
true.
faces
wind
get cold.
coming
It's such
off.
a
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah.
And I
Wind
think
chaps
this would be
faces.
the Atlantic.
I would think
He's on the
so.
East Coast.
But then it felt tropical. So then I was like, are they in the Caribbean? Oh, wait, it said Caribbean.
Yeah.
They were, yeah, it's Caribbean.
Oh, so it's so hot. They're wearing face masks.
Oh,
Cools at night.
uncomfortable.
I don't know. Gulf
I don't
winds.
know.
Very temperate.
Yeah.
I don't think
I feel
so.
like
I
Gulf
think they're
winds
hot and
are-
uncomfortable.
I like to think that they're hot and uncomfortable, so we'll go with
They're
that.
wearing breathable, sneaky clothes.
It's like bamboo fiber.
Like
Yeah,
tears
it's like-
in an aquarium, like sweat
Yeah.
was streaming down their faces and getting muddled in the mask.
They went to like Lululemon. It's very
Yes.
breathable
Right.
fabric.
Breathable.
neoprene of some
Yeah,
kind.
exactly.
And they
Wicks. It
are
wicks the moisture.
It just wicks it right out.
Yeah.
Like a sponge outfit. And then they're like, oh, we're stealing. And then, okay, when they say this part, I was like, you don't need to be talking about this part. When they're like, we're going to, Alexander comes out and he's like, well, after the kids have been taken and like thrown in the tank,
Right.
then, because the kids try to straight up fight the bad guys, which I
Yeah.
thought was very funny.
I appreciated that they like he tried to do
They
a little bit
really-
of a set
yeah.
piece there
Yeah.
where it's like Dr. D's down, Sheena's kicking.
Yeah.
It's like let's
Just being
give
held
it her
back.
all, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's
They
like
keep
in the
expecting
tank.
Alexander to start punching
I know,
with
they're
his
like,
punching body.
Yeah.
Buff punching body. Alexander's going to come out.
He's so good at kicking.
Really good.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We'll never know. Yeah.
Probably. He looks like it.
So he comes out and he was like, haha.
Twas me.
'Twas I the whole time.
Yeah.
And
That's why I wasn't focused on your breakfasts.
I was so distracted.
I never wanted to please you. That's not what it was about. Do we think that he was always bad, or that he saw an opportunity when the mermaid entered the picture? I mean,
Honestly,
he saw
I
an
think he's just
opportunity.
like chaotic neutral. Like, I
Yeah.
think he's
Right.
just like doing whatever. Like, the wind is blowing that way, he's going to do it.
I think more of a meal could have been made out of like, how great do we think a zoo is? You know, like I think there was a way to just like, you know, Alex is the hero of his own story. I feel like it's,
I agree.
It's true.
why do you think this zoo is any better than
Then
you
the
know?
zoo that he's taking her to.
Yeah, is it a private zoo or
Well,
something?
He doesn't. It was that the other zoo of the like, open marriage people.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were offering 1 million. These other guys, we don't even know if they were from a zoo. They were
Right.
offering 20.
I mean, I just think that offering that much money speaks to the resources. I bet
more
it's a
resources.
beautiful
It's a
zoo.
beautiful facility.
Yeah,
This was
yeah.
probably like the San Diego
Spacious.
Zoo.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
It's like the Wild
$1
Animal
million,
Park. This is
Yeah,
like
San Diego
room
Wild
to
Animal Park.
roam.
Yeah, this is like some Busch Garden shit.
Yeah.
1 million, like what?
A
Come on.
million?
Yeah.
Get out of here with your
Yeah.
hoi polloi offer.
They don't
So-
even have
Oh,
big vision for the mermaid. They're
No.
not just like, oh no, this is going to be the centerpiece of a giant new theme park where
No.
people will be able to interact with a new species. It's like, no, like we got a tank set up.
We got a
you can
tank.
like throw nickels at it.
Did you? And also, okay,
You can make wishes.
Yeah, make wishes and we get that money.
this is what
Every day we sweep up those coins.
It's like pennies, that's us too.
I was so mad at R.L. Stine for this part then because I forgot that these were the people that offered $20 million. They didn't even have a tank.
Oh, yeah,
to
they didn't
put
have
her
a
in.
tank ready
so they
to
just
go.
like wrap a rope around her waist and like drag her behind the boat.
Right.
Which I started to like lose track of what was even taking place at this point.
Yeah, where the dinghy was in
visuals,
relationship
yeah.
to like lower yourself onto the dinghy and then knock them over. It's like, why would you
Yeah.
go in the boat to knock people out of a boat? Like
Yeah.
ram into it or something?
Yeah. But then also
Doesn't add
like,
up.
okay, so her hands are free,
Mm-hmm.
but she can't untie it, but the other mermaids can. Why?
Tied real tight.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's just like too tight.
Yeah,
She's
it's too
tired
tight.
from struggling.
Well, she
Yeah.
in the mermaid community is famously dumb about knots.
Oh.
You know, like has
Yeah.
many strengths, but knots don't have to
She's-
be it.
Yeah.
Not a knot.
Yeah.
Because
Not a
she has a
knot Nelly.
phobia about it because when she was in kindergarten, a magician came to her school and he did that
Yes.
trick where he asked for an audience member to come
Yeah.
up and he did the whole thing of like try to untie this knot and she couldn't and then he did it. It was a whole trick and now
Right.
she never
It's her
wants to
greatest
touch
shame.
knots.
Greatest
Yeah.
shame.
That
Okay.
may have been pulled from a personal memory,
He was a magician.
except it was, he was a magician. Get out. That's
I regret
Two
asking you to
strikes.
come and do
Two
the show,
strikes.
honestly. And then the mermaids, like it's like the kids who are pretty much useless. They don't do anything. The kids in Dr. D.
Mhm.
And then the mermaids tip the boat over, capsize it, leave those men to die, take away the
fuck Alexander.
little girl mermaid. Yeah,
Yep.
fuck Alexander.
hmm
And then
He's dead.
I
hope-
assume.
Bottom of the ocean. Ship burned around him.
Yeah, or the mermaids eat everyone alive.
That would be an amazing
That's
scene.
sick. I
Yeah.
would love like scary mermaids. Like they turn
They're able to fight sharks.
Is that a movie I'm thinking of? Where
scary
they,
mermaids.
I guess the idea of sirens is a little bit of like,
Hold on, that might be
they're like
something. Harry
beautiful
Potter.
sea creature. Oh, right.
Scary
And are they
mermaids.
Yeah.
kind of siren-y?
Mm,
That's the thing with them is
They
that
like-
they'll bash your skulls
Yeah.
on the rocks or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
They
don't
just
know if
want
they're
to bash your
there's
ship on the rocks.
the Harry Potter ones.
No,
Oh,
I mean
sirens.
the
sirens.
sirens.
Yeah, sirens. They want you to bash your ship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they hate your ship.
They hate all
Harry
ships.
Potter made me think of something I feel like this book could have used. Is I wish there was like a young bad kid. I feel
Yeah.
like I enjoy when adolescents face off against adolescent enemies. It's a little more evenly matched.
Yeah,
can throw
you
a
don't
punch.
have
It
to-
doesn't feel like an impotent,
Yeah.
screaming and kicking thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, when it's like two kids, one of which is in a tank fighting like 37-year-old men. I was
It's a
kind of
10-year-old
like,
girl.
yeah, I was like, this is not.
And then the
gonna end
only adult
well.
on their side looks like what you think a scientist looks like.
which
which
is
is like,
so
ew,
gross.
ew,
just
ew.
ill.
so
just
puny.
like a little wet shoelace.
Oh, see-through skin.
It's
He's
just like
so gross.
yeah, he's
gray.
so gross,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
gross. Like go outside, go to
You
the beach.
experiment on yourself.
Noodle
Test
arms.
if you're gross. The answer is yes. That's my
Hypothesis
hypothesis.
positive.
Yeah. But seriously, that 10-year-old girl, like one open hand slap,
That's
would have
it.
just like, oh,
Yeah.
she's dead.
Well, like
Yeah.
one guy
We
just
killed her.
like
She's so
basically
small.
like clotheslines her, and then she's done.
I'm
Yeah.
also I in any time like adult versus kid fight, I just imagine the adult putting their palm
Yeah.
on the forehead while the little kid like swings and
Tries to
misses.
run.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of a
So
blank
it was
check
that.
type face off. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So all is well, right? The mermaid gets free, but then the kid's like, I'm gonna go visit her because I would just want to see her again.
Because I'm still DTF.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like,
And now
I'm
she
boning
owes
out for the
me.
first time. I need to figure out what to do.
I was like,
Yeah. I need to collect on an IOU.
yeah, exactly. Let's take this out of the friend
Yeah.
zone. I was nice to you, so you owe me sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did everything. 1, 2, 3.
I did everything right.
So then he swims out over to the fire coral again, and then, oh my God,
Actual sea monster.
sea monster, which, did he see that sea monster before, or was that the dream?
It was the
He
dream.
did it. No, he had one.
He saw it once, right?
Once.
Once, at the
He
very,
felt
very
it.
beginning. He felt it.
Oh, okay.
He was pulled down. It got confusing because
But
then became Sheena. Can't believe her name was
Sheena.
Sheena and Dream so often that we forgot that there was at its core. Like he saw a sea monster and no one believed him.
Yeah.
That's right, because
I did
Sheena
forget
and Dr.
that.
D were swimming ahead of him, and
Yeah.
like they were like thrashing swimming, but also like having a conversation. That was the one where they were like thrashing swimming, and he's like, and Dr. D's like, all right, kids, are you ready to get back to the
Yeah.
boat for lunch? And
Yeah,
Sheena's like,
just-
I'm hungry.
All the breath in the world.
One of his favorite parts about being a fish scientist is all the free swims. He just kind of I just love to breaststroke and think.
yeah. Oh my
God.
Do some laps.
The way you might go for a walk on land, I just go for a swim. This is my land.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
Land
I
is
gotta,
your land.
gotta
Yeah.
clear
Land
my
is my
land.
land.
I gotta clear my land. I gotta clear my head and go for a dip. Yeah. Well, so
And
overall,
then I would have thought that he got destroyed, but then there's a deep trouble too. And they go looking for a pirate treasure.
what?
Yep.
How do they get
That
distracted
was also
from the
at the
sea
end of the book.
monster?
No, it just ends with the sea monster. And then the next book, Dr.
Unrelated?
D's like,
Oh,
hey,
Dr. D's
Sheena,
there.
hey,
Billy?
let's go find some pirate treasure.
Really?
Do you know if the mermaids get roped into that?
Oh, I hope not.
Literally and figuratively.
They make like a
I
chariot.
have no idea.
Yeah, that'd be fun. They're like, oh, our engine's not working. Like, yeah.
30 like thrashing mermaids. It's like all foam water.
Yeah. I have no idea. But so all we
Ben
know.
Murr. Is that was the third? I just wanted to. I felt like we were wrapping up. I want to get one more bad one.
Okay,
in.
You
well,
wanted to end
you
your run
really-
with that.
yes.
I
Okay.
know.
So that's the
Ben
hill you
Murr.
want to die on.
I know.
3
That's
strikes,
the worst
we
of the
are-
three.
That's fine.
Legally
Honestly,
obligated to end the
But that's the
podcast
kind of
now.
like third strike where I swing so hard but I fall down. Like I hit myself in the back of the head swinging, and people were like, "Oh, that was nowhere near the plate. What a terrible
Yeah,
thing
and
to
like,
swing
oh,
at."
his arms are so
And
flexible.
then somehow, like the
Yeah.
baseball whizzes past you, bounces off the board in the back, which I don't backstop.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
and then hits you in the nuts.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
like from behind.
Such an insult to professional baseball. It's not as if he made a mistake, but it's like he's never even played the game before.
Well, and the whole field is quiet because like
Yeah.
people don't even know. Like, can I laugh? Like he seems to be like in a lot of pain.
It's humiliating. It's like, seeing like an uncle piss himself
Yeah.
or something. You're like, oh, this isn't funny.
They don't
Maybe it'll
even-
be funny later.
Yeah,
but
they
now
don't
it's
even
sad.
show. They don't even show the replay. They're like, we can't. Like
Mm.
they actually, as while it's happening, they cut to a commercial.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Like, oh, we can't.
Oh, national disaster.
Yeah. Well, now that you're national embarrassment, I would say if you're gonna read,
Again, like it's garbage.
it is garbage.
Best
Garbage.
Goosebumps book I've read.
I think
yet.
so. Best.
Yeah.
Best for sure. Like head and shoulders above everything else we've read.
And
Yeah.
like a 42-minute read. I mean, this is, you can,
Yeah, you can zip.
cruise through this.
Tops. Yeah.
Yeah, like every time you push right on your hashtag Condal, it goes like 5% more.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. And this
Yeah.
is coming after we had just read Outlander, which like
12 hours.
12 hours.
Actually,
and we
12
read
hours.
fast. So it was like 640 something
God.
pages.
So many
So this was
pages.
a dream. I was like, yes, I'm reading so fast. I love this.
Have you heard the story about how the author came up with that character?
Diana Gabaldon
Yeah.
No.
came up with Claire or the hot guy.
Claire.
Oh.
She was writing, she started writing that book. She wanted to write a romance set in whatever 17th century Scottish Highlands. And she kept having this character that spoke like a spunky modern person. And so she kept editing it and being like, well, that isn't how women would be then. And this isn't feeling, I'm trying to write an accurate thing. But she's like,
Right.
but despite my best efforts, this character kept coming back. And I was like, she's
So
meant to be
sassy.
here. And it was like the muse forced
my
her
God.
to
Be
create
here.
a structure that allowed her to not even put a modern, like a,
Right,
a
but like-
40s army,
Yeah.
feminist wife in
Yeah.
but like
That is
it just
so
came out of
funny.
her like inability to write real feeling period dialogue 20 pages into writing a
Yeah.
period epic or whatever.
Which would be insane
Like,
if
no one's
she.
sarcastic, and I love writing sarcastic jokes. Like, how do I get that in there?
I
Also,
want at
hilarious
least 3
street jokes from the
chapters.
40s.
Yes.
So funny.
I want at least 3 chapters where she can't get it through her head that nobody knows the words that she knows.
Oh my god.
Love it.
So funny.
Beautiful.
And also, like, that's such a, like, it feels like such a, like, she started writing fanfic kind of thing. And
The
then
whole thing feels like fanfic.
It's very, like, Mary Sue fanfic.
But,
of,
like, fanfic of what? We don't know.
Who knows? But it does have such a, I mean, maybe that's just romance.
Braveheart? I don't know.
Yeah.
Braveheart. It's,
Did you read all of them or you're just...
We just read the first
the
one.
first one. It was for our Patreon. We read one book a month that's outside the usual genre.
Sure.
And so this is a listener.
You have a lot of books ahead of you if you stick on the
I know,
Outlander
and
series.
they're all cubes of books.
I visited
Bosch for
my...
moms. My mom is pretty wild about Outlander.
Just about
Everyone's
to say,
mom
I
is
went
into
home
it.
for my mom's
Yeah.
birthday this weekend. She has read all the books. She's seen the TV show. I wouldn't even say she like loves it, but she watches all of it. She likes the show more than the books. She says the books get very boring talking about botany and shit.
I met that actress at a party and just was like going on, like my girlfriend and I were like talking to her, like being like, oh, she knew someone we were with. We just went up to her, we're like, we've like kind of watched that show and like it's like very fun. And like we were just complimenting her and she's like, I don't think I've ever gotten this reaction from anyone under like the age of like 45.
Nah,
like,
dude.
She's like, I go to conventions or whatever. And I'm sure it's changed since this was like right after maybe the first season. But like, yeah, moms were like waiting for that the way, you know, certain type of guys waiting for like American Gods or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. It was like when I had it on my Kindle and I was like, oh, I'd be hanging out with people and be like, oh, I have to read Outlander. Everyone was like, oh yeah, I remember my mom like being really into those. Like she was always reading them all the time. And it totally is like, ooh, kind of like romance that you can kind of cloak as like historical.
Sure.
But it is just like softcore smut for most of it.
With
are the
like
books as horny as the
so
show?
much torture.
The books are, the books have a lot more of like.
I don't mean to step on your
no.
premium member stuff.
This is great.
No, this is a great teaser. This is a great teaser.
Preview.
Support Teen
just
Creep.
get the flavor.
The books have a lot more of like her saying something not funny, like her being like,
or him.
Yeah,
One of them saying something not funny,
and then her like mind declaring it hilarious, and then them literally rolling around laughing,
giggling
for
long
for in the time span of the book, like 10 minutes.
Ugh.
Like,
and it's like so
they
much
really
of like,
crack each other up.
They're so like hilarious. Like there's a part,
personality Mary Sue is like not actually a thing I've maybe ever read in that gross kind of way, where it's just like just trying to manifest this idea of someone being like magnetic and charismatic rather than just like, oh, like she knows how to like gauze things and like solve problems. But the idea that she's just like crushing in a made up way is
tell the worst one. Tell the worst one.
Okay, so she's like she somehow alley-oops him into saying,
all right, I'll set you up and then you can say the horrible thing. So they're having sex. They've just gotten married. They're really discovering that they like fucking each other.
Sure, yeah.
And he's talking about like his expectations of sex, blah, blah, blah. And he's only ever seen animals do it before because he was a virgin.
That's how it
And they're
starts.
like comparing, and she's like, they're talking about what kind of different animals they're fucking like.
And she's like,
take it away, Kelly.
She's like, oh.
He's like, what kind of animal would you be if you were fucking?
And she's
something like that.
She's like, a hedgehog. And he's like, how does a hedgehog fuck? And she's like, very carefully. And then they both laugh for a very long time. And she's like, I guess it was good that no one had ever heard my go-to jokes before.
It was like, I know it was cheesy, but I just couldn't help myself.
And he's like, Sassenach, you're the funniest person I ever met. And she's like, oh, I'm so funny. And like and then they laugh over like stories of him getting abused by his dad.
Just
like
the whole book is him telling stories about having been beaten by others.
And then both rolling around laughing, like rolling around laughing. And then they'll usually fuck afterwards. But the book is very horny. It's like,
but also full of torture.
Full of torture for the end part, which is very bad. But like, there's also just lots of like them fucking a lot. And then her being like, I value my friendship with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's more than just a thick piece of kilt meat. Or
Yeah.
No. He's so funny.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So that's Goosebumps.
that's
Deep Trouble.
Goosebumps, Deep Trouble. Thank you so much for coming on and doing the show, Matt.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having
thank
me,
you.
guys. This was a blast.
Do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, the Comedy Lineup Part 2 is on Netflix. I do stand up on that. Follow me on social media. It's my name.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you giving us happy reviews on Apple Podcasts. If you are reading along with us, the next book that we will be talking about.
Oh, yeah. I do not remember. Oh, no.
It's Trick or Treat, the book that I accidentally read last week. I showed up
We
not
came
having
in-
read the right book.
Oh my
Kelly
gosh.
came in reading the wrong
True.
book, didn't read the
Nightmare.
one
Wonderful
we know.
nightmare, yeah.
Complete
It was-
nightmare. It was awful.
I was so excited.
I mean, the episode turned out great, so thumbs up. But it was I was screaming like fuck, just like over and over.
Also, I feel like you're obviously, you knew this book. You were very like leading this charge of walking through the book, just imagining you
I didn't
being
read
so unprepared.
Yeah.
I didn't read this book.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, those who listened know that Lindsay made me say what I thought the book was about, not having read any of it, and I think I killed it.
Yeah, she was so wrong. It was
I
great.
was incredibly wrong, including every single character. Read a Trick or Treat if you want to. You don't have to. Do what you want.
Yeah.
And thank you so much to our Patreon subscribers. Because of you, we can do what we do with the show. You are basically a producer of the show, and we really appreciate it. If you guys want to get on board, after you got that sweet taste, that sweet, yummy, mommy, yummy taste.
No, stop. Don't like it.
Outlander taste.
No, I don't. Okay, well, now they host the show together, and I will leave forever.
Lindsay, mommy. No. So if you liked that, you can go to patreon.com/teencreeps and check out all the tiers and see what yums your yum.
Oh, God, I hate it. Thank you so much for listening. Keep it creepy.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Kelly Nugent, Lindsay Katai, Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news